So here we got the House of Black with Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews with Julia Hart loitering, but I'm sure she'll get her little cheap shots in there, I'm sure. Versus the Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens with Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn, for the six-man tag team match for the AEW World Trios Championship. And of course, the current champs right now are the House of Black. And I don't know. I really like the House of Black, and you know how I like my decent reigns. I don't want them to lose so quick. And the Acclaimed, of course, they were tag team champs for a decent while already, you know. And aside from the novelty of Daddy Ass being in the ring and stuff, I'm going to give it to the House of Black. And I'm not 100% sure, but maybe they could even do a thing where they might come close to winning, but then the Guns come in to interfere and cost them the match too, because you know how it is. That's never going to end between father and sons and all that. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to House of Black. They're just badass, you know. Brody King, Buddy Matthews, they're big dudes. Malachi Black is just freaky soft buck. And like I said, Julia Hart's gonna do something. She's gonna kick someone in the balls. She's gonna blow the mitts in their face. She's gonna do some shady shit. She's not there just to be like what do you call it? Window dressing. She'll be doing some shit. So keep an eye on her, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you exactly. She's definitely gonna pull something shady. Like you said, kick to the crotch, or maybe blow some mist in somebody's face. I'm definitely gonna give it to the House of Black on this one. And I agree with you on that theory. It's gonna be a close match, but I got the feeling that the sons of the gun, I should say, are probably gonna go in there and screw something up for them, which causes them to lose that match. Like, they're going to get this close, but those two are going to come out and screw something up. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to give it to the House of Black on that
one. Well, since Jack has been around, I'll go. Yeah, I think House of Black is going to win it, mainly because, one, the reign is still they haven't had it for that long, you know? So it seems too soon for them to lose it. So I think they're gonna retain. Also, the thing about the Guns, yeah, I kind of like that theory too. They're probably gonna come, interfere, and screw something up. I can see that, and they're gonna be. And here's the thing: since I think they're gonna, since that we know they're probably gonna lose their match, they're gonna be still pissy from that and take it out on Daddy. That is my theory for that one. All right, Johnny, how about you?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the same consensus that everybody else so far is going with, and it's got to be the House of Black. Just Malachi Black, enough said. Julia Hart's probably going to cheat, most likely going to cheat in this match as well. I don't know, it's just like a phenomenal team, and yeah, it would be pretty good that they won this
match. I'm voting, obviously, House of Black, because people are forgetting that, remember, they have they have the house rules. Every time they wrestle, they're wrestling under house rules, which means 20 count out, which is like a New Japan standard or Japanese standard. They're not allowed, if anyone is disqualified, the match ends automatically. And
no rope breaks.
No rope breaks. So, and honestly, it's so funny because I don't think if there's a title on the line, the Acclaim can win without cheating. They've never been able to win without cheating. And honestly, I think that, like I said before, I've said it multiple times, House of Black just have better wrestlers than most of the roster. And yeah, so I'm betting on Black.
Because the house always wins. And one thing I do want to say is that Jupi and Johnny saved themselves from embarrassment because we were at the live show, if you guys know, a couple of weeks ago. We were at the live event when AEW was in Pittsburgh with DJF. So DJF got to be there. And of course, DJF always has the best seats. He got to appear next to the Acclaim when they were doing the scissoring and stuff for the crowd. So There's a screenshot as I'm saying this for you guys. I don't know how he always does it, but he does it. But anyways, the only reason that we didn't pose, because I wanted to pose originally, the plan was me and Johnny and Jupes doing all the whatever, is because for whatever reason, I don't know why, but this particular year, the AEW trucks were not there. I don't know why.
They knew you were coming.
They weren't in the back or anything. We couldn't. They weren't anywhere. And even we missed last year's show. But I was talking to people in the audience and in the line, and they didn't mention the trucks were there last year. So I don't know why, because that would have been the perfect background setting, the giant AEW logo behind us, and we're all doing the posing and whatever. But maybe next year, guys. Maybe next year.
No, they saw you come. They knew you were coming.
Oh God.
Hey, it's Mark Rodriguez from the Diving Cutter podcast. He wants to do silly poses in front of the trucks. Keep the park hidden.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, guys, the next big match we got here is for the TBS Women's title is Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. And of course, for the title and all that. And in my opinion, I think that finally, the time has come. I do believe at this time, and it's kind of perfect with the little thing we got going on. I think it's perfect that Taya Valkyrie is to finally dethrone Jade, because I don't know why, but in the wrestling consensus or whatever, a lot of people think that if someone's going to take the title, it has to be Chris Statlander, but who knows what the fuck she's doing now. I mean, I've seen her around on her socials, the last couple of months, she's, in bed and she got the cast or whatever, but now she's doing stuff. She's training, she's traveling, but I guess she's still not ready. So a lot of people think that Taya's going to take this one. And then whenever Chris comes in, maybe she'll beat her for or whatever. But the thing is, the time of Jade is over. It's been like forever. It's been crazy. And of course, we got the whole thing that Jade is pissed because it's a coincidence that the Road to Valhalla is exactly the same like the Jaded. And of course, it's like poetry that Jade's long as 50-1 or whatever the fuck title.
60.
Oh God, 60-1 title. Have it all end by being planted face first with a move that's similar to hers, even though Taya's been doing it longer. You know what I mean? But
it's her move. Yeah, it's Taya's
Jade
move.
is getting jaded, and she's riding that road to Valhalla. So I'm thinking that this is going to be Taya's big moment. I don't know where Jade goes from here, though, but we'll see. But
Back a little. No, I'm just kidding. I think she should go after the I think I want Jade to lose so badly. I like Jade. I think she's very talented. Well, I wish I could see more of her talent, but unfortunately she fights mostly jobbers. But I would like to see her in a match that lasts more than 7 minutes. But that's that's me personally. But I do think that she has a good amount of skill. I would like to see her maybe fight someone who's more on the veteran spectrum, and I'm really excited to see what she can do. Because if anyone could bring out a good match in her, it's Taya. Taya is going to give her the ropes, and I think Taya I agree. I think Taya might. Actually, you know what? No, I just changed my mind. You know what? I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to choose Jade to win. I'm just going to go. I don't want Jade to win, but I'm going to go against the grain because of like my theory that Jade's not going to drop the title until she fights Thunder Rosa. I've been saying that for a while, and now the Thunder's back.
I kind of think that Jade just kind of walked into the room off camera or something. So Jack is all like, yeah, Ty's gonna take her down, blah blah blah.
No.
1 second thought. I'm changing my mind here. I'm gonna say Jade's gonna win.
No. No, I was just thinking about it right now because the problem is that I just keep thinking about how it's never gonna be just a straight fight with Jade Cargill, and Taya doesn't really have any allies, so it would be stupid for because that Mark guy, the Mark Sterling guy, and then whoever the fuck is
Leyland
around her.
Hirsch, they're going to be there.
Yeah. And to answer your question about Chris Statlander, I think her and Chelsea Green went to the school of constant injury. It's a school founded by Randy Orton, who sneezes and breaks a collarbone. So I think Chris Statlander's had more injuries than she's had wins in AEW, I think. Am I wrong? But my thing is I honestly don't know. Like I said, the only thing that makes any sense to me would be for Jade to either lose on an even number, which would be cool, but I don't know if they'll do that. So if she did lose, it would be a double or nothing because it's 60. She's already at 60. So it'd be 60-1, which would get Taya over. The problem is I don't see Taya being the one to dethrone Jade because they've built up Jade so much as this unbeatable beast. And the thing of it is with wrestling storytelling, you need to think of when you have this unbeatable monster, you have to have someone dethrone the monster or like kill the monster. That's one of the reasons everyone was so wanting Cody Rhodes to beat Roman Reigns is because they're like, Roman's undefeated. You know, Cody's this white knight coming in to slay the dragon. And then they were like, psych. And I'm like, everyone's like, fuck. Like, but the problem is I don't see Taya being the white knight because like Taya's already a veteran. She's won multiple world championships. I don't know. Although it would be cool, I do love Taya. So, but I think I'm going to go with Jade. I think personally I'm going to stick with Jade.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one, Jack. Now, as much as I would like Jade to lose this one and it end up being 60-1, before anybody flames me on this comment, either on YouTube or in this room, I'm going to say it right now, Taya's not hot enough to beat Jade. What I mean by, whoa, hold up. What I mean by that is this. You have to have a wrestler who has like a major pop and a major heat coming in. Taya, yeah, we already know her. You know, a lot of people, you know, from the outside looking in don't really know her too well, but we know her history. Now, you get somebody like, say, Statlander or Thunder Rosa, who's coming back from an injury, who's already fought them before.
Yes.
And it's just like, yes, they're finally back. We've missed them for a long time. Kick Jade's ass. Those are the ones that are going to be that end up getting that title shot and end up beating her because they're hot off of a comeback from a long injury. They've already fought her before and they know how to slay that beast. I'd love for Taya to win, but I'm going to get Jade that one.
But imagine that, William. Instead of Taya Valkyrie coming in, imagine if it was Tessa Blanchard coming in.
Oh my God. If it was Tessa, I would lose my shit. I would be so happy. Woo-hoo. Also, imagine Also, imagine like the backlash. Everyone go, you haven't dropped to that. And everyone's like, everyone deserves a second chance. And everyone's like, you know, that whole thing. Hey, you know what? I will say real quick on the Tessa thing. La Rosa, like 100% forgave her and they're all good terms. So, there's something. Anyway, I'll go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, okay, so I forgot. How long has Taya been back? Like, been around since she's been in AEW? Since she's kind of
AEW, maybe like a month or so.
Yeah.
And a half, maybe. No, because we haven't. It hasn't been a full month or almost a full month since we went to the live show, and Taya wasn't part of it then. So.
Yeah, she wasn't. No, and I was
it's been like 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was going by that theory where I think Jade is going to win just from that alone. Taya hasn't been around long enough for the casual fan to get to like know her, and I'm super casual. So like you guys were saying, like you brought it up. I mean, I didn't think of anyone offhand, but like you mentioned, Thunder Rosa. You know, I mean, she's been gone a while. She's back. A lot of people want to see her, but then you got Taya here. She's cool and all, but at the same time, she hasn't been around long enough. They haven't built her up as a rival long enough for her to, I think, to get the title off of her. And if she did get the title off of Jade, it wouldn't make sense from a storytelling perspective, in my opinion. I mean, I could see them letting Willow get it off of her before someone like Taya, honestly, because Willow's been there longer. She's already popular with, with fans and all that other stuff. She's already known amongst the fandom, like that. So yeah, I think Jade is going to definitely retain until they get her an opponent that's been built up longer than Taya has to even attempt to get the title off of her. And I don't understand why they did Taya anyway. So yeah.
I have one little quick thing before Johnny goes. I think she will either lose one of three places. Either here, which I'm like kind of meh, or at the debut of Collision, because that would be huge, or at All Out. Or it could be at All In, actually. I was just thinking All In because that Wembley show. That's going to be big, so I don't know.
Wait a minute, is it Collision the one with the Forbidden Door matches?
Huh?
I'm thinking of the wrong one. No, I'm thinking of this. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, now that they have a women's division, well, that's another thing. Now that they have somewhat of a women's division, they could have Mayui Watani because she's the IWGP Women's Champion. Maybe she could fight Jade. That would be awesome.
Or maybe since she's wrestling in Japan right now, we've been saying her name long enough. How about Maxie and Paler get in there?
Alrighty. I was about to say something else there when you were talking about, Jade maybe winning out at All In or All Out or, all of that. I was saying, unless she actually just continues, unless she is threatening Tony Khan to let her keep that title. And obviously her walking into the office, she's holding the title, she walks through the office, it's like, so I heard you were thinking of taking this off of me, huh?
No,
huh? What are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm about to make an announcement. Jade is going to have
an announcement. I don't know what you're talking about.
And he's like, don't hurt me, Master. And he's like, don't hurt me, you angry snowman.
Jade is going to be defending her title, but she probably won't lose it. I have to go. I think I'm about to crack. Sorry.
Oh, throw a muffin at her and run.
Johnny, your thoughts?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with everybody's consensus. I think it's gonna be Jade. Well, except for you for the contrarian mark, but yeah, I don't know. Pretty much like what everybody has said. I mean, Taya's not really like, for the very casual wrestling fan, most of us don't really know who Taya is that much. And Jade, we all know who Jade is, and she's just a powerhouse. And as much as her matches are very very short because she just beats up all these jobbers. I don't know. I think this is going to be another match that Jade is going to win. Let's just see what happens. But honestly, in my opinion, I don't see this as a pay-per-view worthy type of a match. But hey, Tony Khan's in charge of this whole thing, so you know how that goes. So, yeah, it's just, so yeah, that's what I think.
So there we go. So the next one's going to be very, very hard to call. I'm going to put this one first. This is for the AEW International Championship. I don't know if I mentioned before, but the other one, it was like, what was it, like All Atlantic or whatever? But now it's renamed to the AEW International Championship, which sounds a lot better. and it's the Blackjack Battle Royale, and Orange Cassidy is going to be part of it. He's the current champion, and I can't tell who's going to be in it, but from the photograph, if it's accurate, what I can tell is we're going to have the Butcher and the Blade, Galistico, and what was his name? And Metallic, Dustin Rhodes, Keith Lee, Juice Robinson, Switchblade, Big Cass. You call him Big Bill nowadays, don't they? What's his name? Ricky Starks and Brian Cage, Strickland, the Lucha Bros, Kip Sapien, Best Friends, and I forgot that one dude that was from NXT, but now he's here too.
Dustin Rhodes, Chuck Taylor, Ray Phoenix, Jay White, Lee Moriarty, and Commander.
That's okay. That's Commander. There we go. All right. So out of all those people, who do you think's gonna win the Battle Royale? I mean, and I think another thing they've been kind of doing with Orange Cassidy is that Orange Cassidy's been defending the title every episode, every opening match has been an Orange Cassidy match. So the story going that as the weeks progress, he's getting more and more banged up and everything. So it's like their way to make him lose the title. So out of all these people, I can't really imagine.
Hang on. What were you gonna ask?
And we forgot. We've also got Dustin Rhodes in the match as a placeholder.
Oh,
he never wins.
What were you gonna ask, Jupi?
I'm not gonna ask anything because that's just too many people. I don't know. I don't think Orange Cassidy is gonna retain at all. Because like you said, he getting beat up and busted up every week. He always having to sell his knee injuries that seem to always go away at the most opportune times. I'm just going to say Brian Cage just to get it out the way. Y'all do your discussion. I have no rhyme or reason. I'm just going with Brian Cage, because it's me. I would have said Ricky Starks, but, I'm just going to say Brian Cage. What the heck? It's just too many. Y'all have more reasoning behind your choices. I just don't feel like trying to figure it out at all.
I think all of them. I'm gonna go with Switchblade if one of them is gonna win.
Me too. That's who I'm picking. Obviously, I gotta pick Switchblade. That's me. I just like it. I think what's gonna happen is Starks is gonna eliminate Cassidy, which will guarantee a new champion. Everyone's go whoa, and then Switchblade's gonna go, and then everyone's gonna be like, what the. Like Starks is going to be like, but I think Switch is going to wait. I think he's going to sneak and hide. And then Juice is going to get eliminated early. But then Juice, because he's actually having a feud in New Japan Strong, a little bit of a feud with Fred Rosser. And what he did was before a match that they were supposed to have, because one of Juice's finishers is he does the Pulp Friction, but his other finisher is called the Left Hand of God. And it's literally, he just goes punch, and then he straight punches you in the face. But what he's been doing is he's been taking a roll of quarters and just decking people in the fucking face. So I'm like, I would love it if Juice gets eliminated early by Ricky Starks. And then it's down to Juice and Ricky Starks, or it's down to Ricky Starks and I don't know, whoever. And then Ricky Starks eliminates Cassidy. And then Juice sneaks in quarters to the face and then Jay throws him out. That's how I would love it. And also, this is the one time, and this makes sense. This is how you would have Cassidy lose the belt without technically losing. Because remember, it's not a pinfall or submission. So you could even go back and say, oh, well, he could always, look back and go, well, I never really got pinned or whatever. This is a battle royal. So this is a way to get the title off of him without him losing.
Yeah.
So I do think regardless, they need to get the title off of him for someone. That's my opinion, though. But my pick's Jay White.
Yeah, I mean, I again, I have to agree with you. They've been needing to get the title off of Cassidy for a long time. Like, I don't know whether it's just his gimmick or whatever. Like, when I first saw him, I thought it was cool as hell, but now it's literally as boring as his character is. It's terrible. Like, I'm waiting for them to just do one episode where, like, they take his orange juice and switch it out with a Red Bull just to see what the hell happens. It's getting old. Like, he just needs to go and be a full-fledged, full-speed character like he is when he gets hyped up. So, yeah, otherwise, I really have no idea where this match is going to go. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be ridiculous. You know what? I'm just going to throw a rando up there, and I'm going to say, Keith Lee. I'm going to give it to Keith Lee.
See, that's why I said Brian Cage. It's like you said, it's just too much. I mean, I'm just saying, eating, meaty, mountain, mouth. I'm just saying Brian Cage because I'm me.
Johnny,
That's the same thing with me. Jay White, I'm just like, I love Jay White. I'm picking Jay White. That's me. But if Shibata was in there, they'd all be fucked. He
Yes,
just
they
like punt. He just punt, and they're like, oh.
I would definitely vote for him. As much as I'm a Brian Cage fan, you know, in all honesty, it wouldn't even make sense for Brian Cage to win this battle royale. But I don't care. I'm still saying Brian Cage.
I'm gonna say one of the best friends. No.
The Lucha Brothers.
It could be. You know what? Honestly, it could just be a random wild card. It really could. All I know is, regardless of who wins the match, I do think that they should just take the belt off Cassidy, regardless of who it is. You know?
random choice, Johnny. Just go for it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go rando. And hey, yo, I gotta represent. So, hey, why not? Penta Cero Miedo.
Penta.
Hey,
Okay.
real.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, actually. I think Penta would make a good champion.
All right, guys. So the next match we got here is the other women's title match. We've got Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm, singles match for AEW Women's World Championship. And of course, things have changed between the last match they had because now we've got the Outcast into the picture. So of course, Toni Storm is going to have Saraya and Ruby kind of, loitering around doing some shit. But Jamie Hayter also has Britt Baker, but possibly Hikaru Shida also kind of loitering around doing some shit. I expect crazy, like all three eventually are going to just get in there. But for this one, though, it's just kind of weird because, like, Jamie beat Toni to get the title, and it's just kind of weird to rematch. Like, I feel it's kind of soon. I don't know how many people did Jamie already had a couple of defenses in a pay-per-view, or was the last pay-per-view when she first won it? Because it's been a while.
Well, I think she defended it like twice or three times, but I know she's recently been injured. So she's like a minor injury that she's been recovering. I think it was like with her elbow or something.
Yeah.
But I think it's like something like that. I think she's like only defended about like 2 or 3 times, something like
Yeah,
that.
because I feel kind of iffy to like give the you know what I mean? Like it could have been anyone else, some other person, but to give the belt back to Toni, if she loses it, like I don't know.
I was honestly surprised it wasn't Ruby. Like, you know what I mean? Like it would have made more sense from a story perspective because, it's like Ruby's the one who betrayed them or whatever. Wouldn't it make more sense to have her? But the one thing I will say, this is like just for me as a like freaking mark for Stardom. This is a great match. This is like the one match I'm like super hyped for because it's 2 of my favorite Stardom alumni fighting each other. So getting to see her, Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm, a match that never got to happen in Stardom, getting them to finally one-on-one again. Like, I do want to see it again. I love their abilities between them, and I'm just excited to see it. So really, it's like, I'm cool either way, whoever wins. But I do think because she's injured, I think they want to drop the belt to her and I guess they would have Tony, but I don't know. I'm just gonna stick Hater retaining. I'm just gonna randomly decide Hater retaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jamie Hayter because I just don't like the idea of her dropping the belt to Tony. Like you said, if it was Ruby, maybe Saraya. I don't think she would have been ready for the title yet, still. But I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's like you got the two factors. You got the factor she's injured, and they acknowledge it on the show. It's not one of those things that we're not supposed to know. Like they mentioned she's injured on the show. And you got, Soraya and Ruby, they're going to be doing their shit. You know what I mean? They're going to be doing some kind of shenanigans, some kind of like, oh, the referee's distracted, spray paint her face and knock her down or whatever, something like that. Storm zero on her or something, But I just don't like the fact, like if it was any other opponent besides Tony Storm, which is like the same person she dropped it to, I would have probably gone for the opponent, but due to those factors, but yeah, I'm gonna go for Jamie Hayter. I already think that's the thing too. Tony didn't really move the needle that much when she was champ, but like Jamie Hayter seems really over though. I see the pops for her. You know what I mean?
Sadly, I'm gonna have to play the devil's advocate, and I have a good reason for it. But I think Tony Storm's gonna win it because Jamie Hayter does have her injury. They're gonna have to write her out of the plot for a while. But Tony Storm's not going to retain it for long. I think probably on one of the TV shows, she's going to get squashed. It's going to either be by Saraya or by Ruby Soho. And then when Jamie comes back, that's when that rivalry begins. So technically, Jamie might have lost, but at least she's got somebody that's worth a damn to go up against to start it again. Don't get me wrong, Tony Storm's good. I mean, I've seen them both in Stardom. They're both good. And I know it seems a little bit early for Jamie Hayter to lose it, but hey, with that injury, you can't just leave the title just sitting up for grabs. So I think they're going to give it to Tony, but I think later on within this same month, within the next month, because it'll be June at that point, she's going to lose it to either Saraya or Ruby Soho.
But I mean, so the Outcasts they're gonna backstab her. You mean?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think of it that way. That's a nice angle. I like that. 'Cause I was thinking the same thing with Jamie retaining, but but we know that she's injured, so it would make sense for her to keep it, so she can get recovery and stuff, which is why she hasn't been defending it anywhere. But at the same time, Tony is Tony. She got it off of Tony, so. But you know what? I like William's theory here, and I think that would make an interesting angle. But here's the question. Are the writers at AEW capable of doing that? Do you think they would actually book that? That's the real question.
Well, yeah, they're not like the other companies. They're not just going to put an interim title there and just leave it sitting, It doesn't make any sense. I mean, basically, that would be the best angle to go about it, to keep the story going and to keep some longevity to it, and then put it in a proper place. One guy gets injured, the other person gets the belt, and then another star ends up taking it from that star. Then when the injury's healed up, you have the two big stars colliding, and you got butts back in seats. That's just how I would do it.
Hey, writers, hint, book it that way, because that's actually interesting.
Now, the only other thing I could say, I'm still gonna stay with Jamie. Jamie's my second boo, but I'm gonna say that I don't know. Like the only thing I will say is if Tony gets it now, then maybe this will be her second chance to actually get more over and get bigger pops and more reactions. We'll see how that goes, But that's the only thing I'm saying. If she wins it, but I'm still taking with Jamie. But what do you think, Johnny?
Hey, I never actually said who I was going for. I said I'm agreeing with. I'm going to go with William on this. And a quick question mark: If Jamie is your second boo, does that mean Tony is your first?
No.
Jade has to be your first boo because she says.
I don't know if Jade counts. Jade is like everyone's first boo because the last person that said like she ain't my boo, they never found a body.
All right, Johnny.
Okay, so for this match, wow, there's just a lot going on. I'm just gonna pick up Tony Storm just because.
Alrighty, so that's some interesting matches here. So then we have, this is very interesting and very weird. We have Wardlow with Arn Anderson in the background there versus Christian Cage with Luchasaurus in the background. Ladder match for the AEW TNT Championship. And the biggest thing is, yes, Wardlow is the current champ, and yes, he's looking for like a worthy opponent. And like Christian Cage and Luchasaurus show up, and everyone's thinking, ho, you know, the big man, Luchasaurus versus Wardlow, whatever. And Christian Cage is like, nah, the next opponent's going to be me. And I'm like, you sure about that, dude? Like, have you seen Wardlow? You know what I mean? And yes, I know Arn Anderson is on Wardlow's side, and he's like, you know, what you're going to do and all that stuff. But I don't know, man. Unless Arn Anderson really does bring out a gun like all those internet memes have been doing, I don't know what he can do against Luchasaurus, but I don't know. I'm curious what they're gonna do. Obviously, Christian Cage is gonna be doing all the cheap shit because, like, physically, he can't really go against Wardlow. He's more the type to, you know, cheat, do something dirty. The moment Wardlow is, I don't know, down on his knee or something, that's when Christian Cage is gonna start hitting them and attacking them and taking out his leg and doing all the cheesy shit. You know what I mean? So it's more of a clever tactic kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like in other words, Christian Cage is going to be doing every dirty, you know, trick in the book, aside from actually going at him like seriously. Obviously, we're going to probably have a moment or two of Wardlow finally gets his hands on him, and the crowd's going to cheer because then you'll see Christian getting his fucking ass down over the place like how he deserves. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still gonna give it to Wardlow because I just don't know. I don't know what kind of tricks and shit. I know Luchasaurus is there. I just don't know. If the match was actually Luchasaurus versus Wardlow, maybe. But versus Christian Cage, since he's the one that technically has to actually win it, I don't know, man. And I gotta say though, it's a very interesting angle for him to go after Wardlow after the Jungle Boy thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of a weird, like a bizarre, like I know the story had to conclude and we have to go to the next feud, but that was an interesting person for them to go after, right? Let's go after Wardlow. Yeah, like it's so random, you know what I mean? Like I've been picking on let me see who's someone that's so I've been picking on Rey Mysterio for half a year. You know what? Now I'm gonna go against Randy Orton. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with that guy. I bet he's as easy as Rey Mysterio. You know what I mean? It's like very random. But yeah, I'm still gonna give it to Wardlow. But yeah, the matchup is so random. What were you guys' thoughts on that too? On being like Christian's next feud, moving on after the whole Jungle Boy debacle.
I don't know. To be brutally honest with you, this match is random as hell. I figured, you know, at this point, you know, Jungle Boy's next big challenge would be to go up against Luchasaurus because that was his old tag team partner. You know, so kind of continue the revenge plot there. But again, I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate with you on this one. I'm gonna have to say it's Christian Cage, and it's because of their supporting characters. Wardlow's got Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson's frail. He's an older guy. So if he gets hit, Wardlow's probably going to step out of the way and be like, yo, hey, are you all right or whatever? And then sucker attack. That's the way this match is going to go down. I hate to say it, but that's exactly the way I see this match going. And it's because of his support character is going to be a reason for Wardlow's downfall in this match.
What do you think, Johnny?
Oh, that's an interesting angle actually. You know, now that you say that, I think I'm also gonna go with Christian Cage because I see that scenario possibly happening in this match. It's another thing I didn't think about. But yeah, so yeah, I'll pick Christian Cage, which is
this is, like I said, when we saw that, we were watching, Mark and I watching Dynamite and stuff, and Christian just came out and was like, "Yeah, I'm going against you." It was like, wait, what? It was just a weird setup. Like you guys were saying, it came out of nowhere. So I don't know how to feel, even what to think about this matchup.
Tony
Christian
Khan.
Cage, I mean, Christian winning would be interesting, and I like what Cornette said. He would love to see this kind of, to see Christian. He said he could bring Christian out in the Iron Lung. He just wants to see him. No, but anyway, I don't know. I really don't know. This is like a coin toss for me, but reminder, how long has Wardlow had his stolen title back?
A couple months, I think.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, he just won in the last event.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well here's my other question before I come up with some kind of an answer for this. I'm trying to think of how this would help from a storytelling perspective if Christian were to win or if Wardlow were to retain. And that's what I'm having. I can't really think of anything for an advantage, I guess, for either side too much, honestly. Christian's already established, and Wardlow is Wardlow.
I mean, if Wardlow wins, I guess, I don't know. I only want to keep the mind games going. Wardlow may just move on to whoever's next. But if Christian wins, there's a chance. I mean, he might maybe go after Jungle Boy and just rub it in his face. He's got a title and he does it. I've done something that you never could or whatever, and keep that shit going if you want to go for round 2 of that.
Yeah, that's all depends on if he loses the MJF, of course.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it depends on that, because that's a good way of putting it too. I don't know. You know what? I was going, yeah, give your opinions first. I am really trying to think here. I'm having a hard time with this one.
You could be a contrarian like Mark. It's funny, I'm usually Mr. Contrarian, but it seems like Mark is Mr. Contrarian on this one. So I have 2 reasons why I think Christian will win. The first is, let's be 100% real here. Wardlow is boring as hell as a champion. He is so dull. He has like zero charisma, zero mic skills. He's just big.
My gosh,
That's it.
Christian is great on the mic.
Christian is one of the best, like, just, I mean, have you, the shit that he could get away with saying, and just like, he's bringing back, when he came back, I was like, see, like I said, I used to be a kind of like a person who was like back and forth between WWE and TNA and Impact and all that stuff. I watched a little bit of everything, and legitimately, heel Christian Cage was fantastic, and he just got under your fucking skin in TNA. And I was like, please bring it back, because they wouldn't let him do it in WWE because it was so watered down. It's like getting a really good steak and then someone giving you bologna and saying it's a steak. That's basically the difference between that. But with Christian Cage, he's got the charisma, he's got the skills, he's got the veteran instincts, and he's got Luchasaurus to like back him up so he could do that whole shit heel thing. But the second and most actual reason why I think Christian will win, and this is the most obvious, it's a ladder match. It's not a 1-2-3 match. He doesn't have to pin him. He could literally just get on Luchasaurus's back and have him climb and catch it. Like, realistically, he doesn't actually have to pin him. So
Yeah, you're right. And that's also something else they were pointing out too, that well, it's Christian. It's a ladder match. I was like, well, back in the day, yeah, of course, it's Christian. Ladder matches. Edge, Christian. Um, you know what? I think I've made a better decision now. I am definitely going with Christian for this one, just based on those things alone. And Wardlow is
he's very boring. That's the problem. Is Wardlow is boring. Like they built him up so much, and he looked so good because everyone hated MJF. And now that he's not feuding with MJF, they're like, oh yeah, we forgot you were here.
hey, is that guy over there?
Huh.
You know what I would do? You know what I think they
wrestler,
should?
Bad mic skills. Arn Anderson as a manager. Oh my God, he's Cody Rhodes 2.0.
Hey, Cody had skill in the ring. You got to give him kudos on that.
Okay, I'll give him kudos for that. But after MJF, everything went downhill.
Yeah,
This is what you do.
Their big chance there with.
This is what I would do. If I were booking if I were booking AEW, sorry, we were talking about Cody Rhodes. I was just thinking, anyway, if I were booking AEW, here's what I would do. I would have Brian Cage leave Embassy and Wardlow, and both of them turn heel, become a tag team.
Yes.
Go after the tag titles, and have Christian as their manager. Because Christian could speak for both of them. He's got so much charisma. He would be their mouthpiece. Their skills in the ring could be balanced because Brian Cage is one of the best skilled wrestlers on the planet that's underrated. And he could balance out Wardlow's faults. And Brian Cage is great in the ring, not so great on the mic. Then Christian Cage would balance it out. That's what I would do.
That would be perfect.
You could literally call them like you could literally call them the War Machine. Like he's the machine, Brian Cage, and then Wardlow, you could call them the War Machine.
Dude, I could definitely get behind that.
Dude, you're basically printing money at that point. It's perfect.
But Tony's too busy in the back with Snow. Okay.
He's too busy in the back looking like broccoli. He's too busy looking like broccoli.
Next match.
Anyways, so the next match we got here is this interesting match. Let me just get this here so I can remember the thing. Yes, it's a match for the AEW World Tag Team Champs. We've got FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler going up against Jeff Jarrett, good old Double J, and Jay Lethal, with Karen Jarrett and Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh in the background, which of course I'm sure they're not going to be window dressing either. And you got Mark Briscoe now as a special guest referee, who at the time seemed to have been more buddy-buddy with FTR and kind of sort of giving the side eye to Jeff Jarrett and those. They did a skit where he went to his farm and did farm work for a day or whatever, but but it was really an altercation. They were fighting and stuff. And amongst all the craziness, I think Dax was, I forgot who's the bald one. I'm sorry. I forget who's who.
Dax is the bald one.
Okay, so I got it right. So Dax was blinded and everything. He happened to bump into Briscoe. And of course, he thought it was one of the other guys. So he just grabbed it and fucking hit him in a pile driver. So even though it's a mix-up, now Briscoe is not on his side either. So now it's kind of more evenly who's he gonna, regulate. It's not gonna be favoring FTR anymore. Now he's got beef with both sides, so we'll see how that goes. And now we've got Double J's wife fucking cheating too, and just a bunch of crazy shit going on. So I still think what's going to happen, despite all the tomfoolery, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of tomfoolery in that match. And I think I'm going to give it to FTR. I think they're going to somehow make it through. it'll be tough because they got like everything stacked against them. But I'll also give it to FTR and see what's going on with that.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. I'm definitely gonna give it to FTR. I mean, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal and their whole bunch of cronies. I'm looking at the list of these guys, and especially Jeff Jarrett being at the top of the list, and it's like, why are you even here? And when I say here, I don't mean in this match. I mean in AEW. Like, no one cares. Except for probably for the only person I even care about in that whole crew that even still has some sort of, staying power in it is Jay Lethal. That's about it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Jarrett, haven't seen you since what? Haven't watched Jarrett since, I don't know, Impact? Haven't really cared since. I mean, it makes no difference for them to even be there. Like, Double J Jeff Jarrett should be just Jeff Jobber. That's what he should be called now. Like, there's no reason for him to even be around. So if they can get past the shenanigans, and I believe, Briscoe's finally going to get sick of his shit and probably deck him, I think FTR is definitely going to win this one. Screw Jarrett and that crew.
I was thinking about that.
Last time I saw Double J wrestle was during the Ric Flair Grandpa Go Home match. I was not expecting it to be the start of his fucking comeback and when one more run. You know what I mean?
Well, you heard his theme song. It's My World. That's his literal theme song. He has his own podcast too. It literally, they make fun of it. It's literally called Jeff Jarrett's World. But what's so funny is I was thinking of, there was this British comedy series I used to watch where they literally go, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, I came in from the front door." "No, alive. Why are you here?" That's kind of how I feel about Jeff Jarrett. I'm like, why are you still here?
Yeah, that's what I was saying about it. It's like, why are you here? In this match? No, in AEW. Why are you here?
Who let you here? Who? Why?
Who let you in? Did you buy a ticket? You're in the wrong place.
I would do just to fuck with the behind the scenes. If I were doing like a comedy bit in AEW, I would just go like get a cameraman and go with a microphone and go in the back and talk to the boys. It's like, excuse me. I want to ask you, do you think you bring more value to the roster or Jeff Jarrett does? And then just keep bringing it to different people. Like, well, I bring more. Why is Jeff Jarrett even here? Exactly. All right, moving on. And just keep asking everyone.
Oh, insult to injury just to make it funnier, have Danhausen do it.
Oh, yeah. Who brings more value to AEW? You or the catering truck? Jeff Jarrett or the catering truck? Jeff Jarrett or the ring announcer? Jeff Jarrett or the ring bell? Jeff Jarrett or that guy selling hot dogs? Who brings more value?
You know, when you were saying like who let Jeff Jarrett in or whatever, I was thinking about that thing for Family Guy when Meg was sitting at the table and Peter just said, "Meg, who let you back into the house?" I mean, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Jarrett, who let you back into the ring?
But obviously, I got to go with FTR. Plus the fact that they just won the belts, man. Like, they literally just won them. They haven't defended them once.
Well, I want to play devil's advocate and go for Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, right. Anyway, I'm going for FTR for obvious reasons. One, Jeff Jarrett, I'm sorry, he's overstayed his welcome. But his theme is still cool. I still like his theme. I always like his theme. But I think, like you said, FTR, they have not had their titles long. Everyone wants to see FTR, do something, want better booking for him in general. Hopefully this will help jumpstart that. And like you said, they haven't had their titles on. They shouldn't lose it this soon, and not to them. Jeez. So yeah, FTR. Okay, how about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I definitely agree. FTR, I mean, it would be so good to see them win this match.
And survive all the shenanigans. All right. So right now we've got the big main event here, which is actually the four pillars match, the four pillars of AEW, which some people may agree or disagree that they may not be the real four pillars of Jack Knives, but we'll see here.
I agree with Jack Knives.
So the current champs, of course, MJF World Title, World Championship, the Triple B and all that, going up against Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and four-way match for the title. A lot of stuff went by here and there. Lots of arguing about the titles. There was a brief moment where MJF was talking into Sammy's ear, trying to convince him that if he helps win against the other two in some of the matches, you know how MJF always has like a gauntlet before you have to face him. He was gonna convince Sammy that you'll be in the main event of AEW. I mean, you'll lay down for me and I'll still retain the title, but you'll have the glory that you're like, in the main event and all that kind of bullshit. But of course, Sammy ain't doing that. There was this.
Did he offer to pay him too?
No, the check only. He said the check would only cash if he laid down for him after the fact.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
see, I was thinking of a DiBiase. I was thinking of like a whole DiBiase angle here.
Yeah.
Everybody has a price.
So basically, there was a match of MJF and Sammy against Darby and Jungle Boy, and I think the stipulation was that if MJF and Sammy win, they'll be the main event, and Sammy will agree to lay down for him. But if Jungle Boy and Darby Allin win, then it'll become the four-way match that we have today. And of course, MJF was super pissed and all that stuff. And he did offer one last chance to Sammy. Like you guys said, the check can only get cashed if he does it. Sammy still said, hell no, and that kind of crap. So I don't know. This is going to be a tough one, a real tough one. But I still think MJF's going to retain. I still think there's going to be a lot of close calls here and there. And I think they're going to do the big fake out where at the very end, the last two standing are Sammy and MJF. And he'll do the little stare down, and Sammy will kind of whatever. Maybe he'll remind him about the money, the check, and all the stuff people are watching. Sammy's like making that kind of face, like he's thinking about it, and I don't know, maybe even pretend that he'll lay down or something, and then bam, get him, sock him, whatever, and all that shit. But oh, wait a minute, that happens, and Sammy would win, wouldn't it? No, I don't know. That moment has to come up somewhere during the match. I know something like that's going to come up. But, no, I don't know. If that happens, I think one of the other two will still kind of get in the way, kind of ruin what would have been a surefire shot. MJF will take advantage, and MJF will still retain. I'm thinking he'll still retain. We'll see how that goes. But that's my general thought. And regardless of who wins, I have a feeling that if Jungle Boy loses, and Christian Cage wins his match, I'm sure it'd be like, hey, one thing I've done that you've never done in this company, and then, just rubbing it in, stuff like that. So we'll see.
I got a feeling MJF's going to win, but it's for different reasons.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I think the Sammy Guevara thing is going to pop off. Like, he's going to hand Sammy the check. Sammy's going to lay down, and then at the count of two, he's going to pull his shoulder up, get up, attack him, rip up the check, all that good jazz. But somehow MJF retains. And the reason why I said MJF retains is because of the one guy we talked about at the beginning of the show, Punk. He comes back and has a rematch with CM Punk. I think that's how they set that up. So
that's true because remember Punk. That's true because Punk never lost the belt.
Mm-hmm. Punk never lost the belt. And
then you could make that the match at All In and sell out that arena.
Oh, hell
exactly. And that's how you set it up. So, yeah, MJF retains only due to the fact that Punk shows up right after the match.
Makes sense.
Well, that's another thing right there. So if he does show up, if the pay-per-view actually ends with CM Punk being there, they have to their face off as the screen goes, fade out and all that bullshit. That right there, that'll sell the fuck out of the first episode of AEW Collision. because that would be like the guarantee he will be there. They're gonna sell out like crazy. You know what I mean?
Oh
Makes
yeah,
sense.
the pop for that is just going to be nuclear. I can tell you that right now.
It also makes sense too, because remember what did MJF do after he beat Danielson and won the title? He didn't make fun of Danielson.
He made fun of Punk.
He made fun of Punk. Exactly. So, wow, that's a good point. But just because I want to play devil's advocate and go fuck it, I'm picking Jungle Boy. Just because, honestly, I really honestly do think the whole feud with him and Christian's over because he literally buried him. Like, literally. And you don't get much more finalized than that in a match perspective. So with regards to that, I think Jungle Boy should win. It makes sense that I think he's finally ready to be the
Jungle
top guy.
Man.
Yes. I even talked to him when I met him. I literally said that to him. And I said, you should change your song to Jungle Man by Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he goes, I've never heard that song. I'm like, oh, you got to listen to it. And then he literally pulled out his phone and he started listening to it. It's like, oh, this is fucking cool. I'm like, that should be your theme song. Damn. But he should just call himself Jungle Jack Perry, not Jungle Boy anymore. And he'll be a Jungle Man. But I honestly think Jungle Boy should win. And because out of all of them, he's the only one I tolerate. To be really, that's really what it comes up. I hate Darby. I hate MJF. I really hate Sammy. So the only one I'm like, I like Jungle Boy. He's nice. So I know the reasoning's not sound, but fuck it. That's the only reason.
Jack, I am disappointed in you. I am very disappointed. I look to you for guidance. You're supposed
I know you're not talking Miss Bryant and Cage over everything.
Let me finish. I expect some good reasons for choosing someone.
Well,
That's what the champ. No reason at
well,
all.
I will say though, like I said, it's also the same reason I have behind the Christian Cage. It's the same reason behind the Orange Cassidy thing, is that it's a stipulation match where the champ doesn't have to lose. So it goes back to that whole thing. Like if you were going to have him drop, you could still make it look tough and to be honest, it's also like, I just don't see out of everyone. And this is one of the things that makes me laugh about this whole pay-per-view. This is the main event? Like, really? Like, this is what you think is going to be like, this is going to be the barn burner. Is it though? Really? Like, this is like a mid-level pay-per-view main event. Not like this would be a match that you'd like for a glorified house show, for like fight. You know, what's that one they do? The fight something. You know what I mean? Like the one for the shooting.
You mean, or
the fight for the fallen?
Yeah, like a specialty TV show main event, not a pay-per-view gonna go to the arena kind of match. At least in my opinion, it just doesn't seem like the kind of match that would be a headliner, because it just doesn't come off that way. It just feels like here's four guys, they're fighting, the end. Why do they hate each other? They don't. Okay, well, okay. Well, we all started together. And that's it. All right.
And that's it.
You see, that's all I need. Book it.
Yeah. It's all like,
it's
like, you know what?
I need my next
It's like me, Ricky Rocks, Mark and Ninja are gonna fight, and we're gonna fight in a hardcore match. Why? Because one of us ate the last donut, and it's like, what? Just
Special
buy more
guest
donuts.
referee,
No, it's the
Blue
principal.
Wait,
It's
who's
the
the
principal.
special referee?
Special guest referee, the Blue Meanie.
Oh,
Exactly.
Lord.
Exactly. I'm like, the reasoning behind this match makes no sense. Other than, hey, we all started together. Remember back when? That sort of angle only works if there's like a pre-establishment of them being close. There's literally, as far as the audience is concerned, no fucking record of them being friends with each other.
No being friends. They've never tagged together.
Nope.
I mean,
because
No,
what you're
yeah,
supposed to do
yeah, not
is you're
even-
supposed to establish a friendship, a build of trust, of this, of that, of this, then the betrayal. That's what's supposed to happen. But
Yeah,
there
so in other
isn't
words, if the four of them came in like some kind of faction and took over for a bit, like
yeah, it would make sense if they called themselves the Four Pillars and worked together for a while. Like, let's say, oh, I don't know. Here would be a perfect example. How about let's redirect if we were rewriting the whole thing, the whole script's thrown out, all that stuff. Wouldn't it make more sense that the Blackpool Combat Club, who are taking out everyone with chairs and weapons, every jackass, that the Four Pillars would be the only thing? We are AEW. We are the foundation of AEW. We need to protect AEW from these four guys. And then that would build up the trust between them. And then go, we are going to defend it. And then MJF backs the fuck out and goes, hey guys, I ain't doing. I'm only cared about the title. And then Hook steps in. Hook becomes the fourth guy. Then those would be the Four Pillars, build up an establishment of a routine, and then work off of that. That would be me.
What
There
you have
me-
to
there goes
turn
me.
Sammy face though? He's the only one that doesn't kind of work because Jungle Boy's a face, Darby's like a kind of sort of anti.
Well, that's
whatever. But
that's what you would do. That's how you would get it over, because Sammy would turn face by Jericho going, you can't join them. I need you to have my back against Cole, blah, 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 blah. And he's all like, no, I got to worry about this. This is more important than your ego. And he's like, nothing's more important than me.
Yeah, that's the hotel they're complaining about.
And then eventually Sammy just like backhands him and just like wham. And then Jericho's like, and then Sammy's like he's like ashamed that he had to, but he had to, and then breaks away. That's what I would do. Because that's the thing. That's the only way it works. And the other thing I said about Jungle Boy compared to the other four, back to this match, he's the only one who doesn't have a shadow. He's the only one not living in a shadow. Really. I mean, he had Christian, but now he's gone. He had Luchasaurus. Now he's gone. He doesn't have anyone. Darby still has Sting. Sammy still has Jericho.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only one that makes sense to me. That's if Jupi wanted logic. There's my logic. Okay.
Yay. Okay, I can get behind you now. All right, I gotta say, only I'm supposed to come up with the nonsensical reasons for why I might pick somebody. I want to keep that title. Okay, I was thinking, in my mind, I think MJF is going to retain, but I don't know. I just can't fully see him dropping it. I like your reasoning, though, as to why you think, Jungle Boy could win, but I think he's going to drop it. Then, it's something else you just mentioned, too, like how you guys were saying, like, it doesn't make sense why they're all going after MJF. They're talking about how, like, hey, we all came in together. That's a good reason to be feuding to begin with. It makes the other three come across as a little jealous and petty because MJF does have a title. He has gotten as far as he has. So, yeah, you're right about how it doesn't fully work. But I think MJF is going to retain. Darby Allin's going to continue trying to injure himself before the age of, 30. Why not? Like I said, he got that spine on his back, the little spine thing on his back. His real spine will be popping out sooner or later. But anyway, ignoring all of that, yeah, I think MJF is going to retain, and then Hook's going to show up because I just wanted to randomly bring Hook into this. Hook is going to show up and say, you know what, MJF, I want that title. I'm cooler than those three bozos in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now that you mentioned the stuff with Hook, I want him in this so bad
Me
now.
too.
And I never thought about
Me
it.
too. I'm like, well, why the fuck is Hook not here? And he's instead with the Hardy Boys, or I'm sorry, the Hardys, because they can't be boys anymore.
Well, the Beach Boys is going to be Beach Boys, and they're Beach great granddaddies now. I don't know why not.
No, I mean legally they can't be the Hardy Boys because WWE owns the name.
Because
That's why they call
That's not-
themselves
Oh.
the Hardys.
Johnny, what are your thoughts?
Yes.
Hey, so this is quite a packed full match here. Again, kind of like you guys say, this is kind of weird. Like some of the matches are kind of weird. Just it's a Tony Khan effect, Can't think straight when he's busy, in the office snoring all day. But in terms of this match, I just don't see how MJF is going to lose this match. I think he's just going to cheat like he always does, cheat his way to the top to win this match. Because love him or hate him, he is a very good wrestler. He cheats, he does all that shit, but he is a very, very, very good wrestler. And I don't know. I just don't see Sammy Guevara's kind of Darby added as well. It's kind of like I like Darby, but dude, he could speed up so much, all the time. And I really do want Jungle Boy to win this match. Like I would root for Jungle Boy, but something tells me that MJF's gonna do some cheesy ass shit in the match that's going to cost him to win the match. So I still think that MJF's gonna win this match. And not only that, but because MJF is so cocky, it's just the way he is. He's going to prove a point why he's the, I don't know what to call, the face of the AEW and all that shit. Like he's gonna do all that. He's gonna stroke his ego. So that's what I feel.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, let me just do the magic refresh now. It's been a good hour. It's been a couple hours after Rampage, actually. So let's see if they added any last-minute dark matches or things, and we'll kind of close off the show from there. And let's see here. Whoa!
Yeah, that was MJF.
Whoa! Okay, so change of plan, guys. The House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews with the alluring Julia Hart there, are now going to be wrestling someone else versus to be determined. So I'm assuming that something must have happened to I forgot who their opponents were originally.
It was the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass.
Wow, I wonder if something happened to them. Either
He broke his ass.
in or out of kayfabe, but yeah, open house 6-man tag team chat for the tag team match for the championship. So holy shit. Okay, so that's
I want to see him attack backstage, and one of the Acclaims was like, "They broke my ass. They broke my ass." Like, just, that would be the perfect time to do that joke. Just the fucking perfect time. It's like, someone, I need help scissoring my ass. I need help scissoring my ass.
okay.
I'm like,
So yeah, the Ethan Page match with Hook and them, as you can assume, because again, it was like a B, C, D, or even an F storyline. That one's been moved to it'll be a dark match. Or pre-show match, the what do you call it now? The 0 hour. I liked the other one before. The buy-in sounded better, but whatever. But yeah, it's now called a 0 hour. So yeah, that's been moved there. Everything else seems to be the same. I don't see any other match. So I guess they're gonna have most of the 0 hour be, the promos, the flashbacks, the interviews and junk like that. And yeah, that's it. Nothing else has changed. It's been a couple hours, but that is the biggest change right now that we don't know who the opponents are for House of Black. So that's gonna be a big thing. Either way, all of us voted for House of Black anyway, so we'll see. But wow, that one is kind of surprising. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it for the episode for our predictions. I don't know any final words. I think we've already touched on that. I was going to bring up that thing, but I think Jack already mentioned about how the main event doesn't feel like main event-ish enough. You know what I mean? That there's no, I don't know.
Well, like,
But
here's one little thing, and this is one thing that I'm just gonna say. There's two little things. First off, this is the first Double or Nothing besides the one in the pandemic that I'm not going to, and that alone should be one thing. But the second thing, and this is a little more on the important side from a production standpoint, this is the first time they've ever done a Double or Nothing besides the pandemic one, that they haven't sold out. Normally when they do Double or Nothing, they sell out within 5 to 10 minutes. This is the first time that they haven't. They're still selling tickets because because it's just not selling out. Because again, it goes back to that thing I'm saying. There's no draw. I mean, like I said, a lot of people want to shit on Punk, but you can't deny his success for box office sales. I mean, come on. Also, like I said, there's only a couple of matches where I'm looking at them. I'm like, oh, like I know we're seeing it from a fan perspective, but you got to see it from a business perspective. Is there any match on this card? Personally, I just want to ask: is there any match on this card this year for Double or Nothing that you look at and go, would I spend $200 to $300 to just drop right now to go see live? Because for me, I just don't see any match like that.
Come on, man. That Battle Royale is worth the entire thing. And don't forget that Moxley bloodbath mess that's coming up with those two dummies called the Young Bucks. I mean, come on now. I would sell my kidney if I could go see that show.
Well, like, what I mean is like...
Further's going to be the guest referee.
Well, what I mean is like when you guys go to see AEW Rampage or Dynamite, same thing with me. If I go to see Rampage, Dynamite, whatever, I'm paying more for the show's experience as a whole. You know, there's the pre matches that you kind of, before you even know what the matches are, you're more of just going for the experience of the show. But with a pay-per-view, it's got to be different. It's kind of more of like going to a movie where you got to see the trailer, you got to see the poster, you got to see the thing that's going to go, I got to see that. But this pay-per-view is the first one of AEW's that I can 100% say, I don't see any match where I'm like, here's my money. You know? And that's where I'm seeing it as. I'm like, I don't see any like, shut up and take my money. And it's kind of bugging me.
Didn't we say something like that for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view too? That there were just a few matches there, just didn't feel like it was pay-per-view worthy, or
right? But there were some.
Ring of Honor. There was Ring of Honor.
But there was some in Ring of Honor that I was like, oh, I would love to see. Like I thought was pretty cool, like the fact that Shibata's fighting for a title, the fact that Shibata's fighting for a title, or the fact that you know, like Kingston got to fight Claudio. You know, they built up that for a long time.
Oh, Shibata's match.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that was actually
the title. Or yeah, there were some matches where I'm like, oh, okay, Ring of Honor fans, but Ring of Honor fans are a little more on the faithful side, so I understand that. And they don't do that many pay-per-views comparatively to AEW, and even AEW doesn't do that many. But the point of it is like that goes back to my thing. If you don't do that many shows, for pay-per-views, you should put the best of the best on the pay-per-views.
Yeah. Yeah, not like
I
something
just
that
don't-
should be like it's like what Johnny was saying. It feels like so some of the matches he mentioned, it just sounds like, like a it should have been like a B like on a B show or like a glorified house show match or something like that. Or one of you guys mentioned that. And I guess I could see it from that
like
point of
a
view. Because
regular
honestly,
episode of Dynamite or Rampage.
or like a special, it should be on Dynamite Rampage or whatever the heck that new Dynamite Rampage,
Collision.
whatever Thursday Night Thunder wannabe shows wanna be. I don't know. So who knows? But I kind of agree with that. Yeah, this card is a little lackluster and nothing's really standing out to me. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll still watch it.
As always, I'm sure it'll still be fun, for us. But yeah, I do understand. And the more grandiose, like the more like the average normie or whatever, they're not gonna be like, huh, what? You know what I mean? Like, oh, the main event is, huh? And that's the thing, though. On one side, like, it is cool that the main event is for homegrown stars, but at the same time, like, to the average Joe, the huh? Who versus who? The fuck is Jungle? What? You know what I mean? Like, and that kind of thing. But anyways, guys, it's Mark Rodriguez here. We're going to close it off now for a Diamond Cutter Wrestling podcast because I do indeed have to edit this before the show starts, because that's the point of predictions. But it is kind of shocking that now we don't know who's going to face the House of Black. So hopefully they do pick a cool, worthy, not jobbers. Hopefully they get a good team. We'll see. But signing off here. This is Mark Rodriguez. We'll catch you after the event.
William White, a.k.a. Ninja Panda in 1980, signing out.
Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews.
Oh, this is the Jupi or Jupi-chan or Wendy, whatever you choose. See you guys later. And I turn this over to the one, the only, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that the one who is
Always
great.
sweet, never sour.
Oh, wait, that one. Well, either way, Johnny, run.
See you next time, guys.
I love you, Johnny.
Oh my goodness. Catch you later, amigos.